Hello, Dr. Hollifield. My name is Jaslyn Richardson, and this is Project 3, my presentation on World War II. Hello, class. Today we're going to be talking about World War II. We're going to talk about America's involvement in the war, Germany's aggression in Europe, and the Japanese aggression in Asia. We're also going to talk about some important people and some major events that took place. World War II started off with a broken treaty and new promises from their new leader, Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler used the vulnerability of the German citizens to take control. He made promises to restore their economy, but he also broke those rules that Germany was supposed to follow from the Treaty of Versailles. Adolf Hitler believed in fascism, which was a political philosophy that one person or group has total power and individual rights are denied. Adolf Hitler was also very prejudiced, which led to the Holocaust. He did not like people who were Jews, mostly Jews, and of other minority groups. Adolf Hitler put millions of Jews and other minority groups into camps, and in those camps they worked, and he killed some of them, sadly. Let's look at this map. During the war, remember I told you, Adolf Hitler broke the promise of the Treaty of Versailles. And one of those promises were to not conquer new land other than Germany. And as you can see with this map, the red represents Germany's aggression in Europe, them taking control over countries in Europe. And the Japanese did the same exact thing. Their leader was Emperor Hirohito. Emperor Hirohito wanted to expand Japan's power in Asia. Because Japan was an island in the middle of the ocean, he wanted to find natural resources. So by conquering smaller countries, he felt that would get him to his goal. But what led to America's involvement in the war? Pearl Harbor. The Japanese and Adolf Hitler felt that by crippling the naval base, that would ultimately destroy American soldiers helping their citizens in their countries. Because although they had citizens that liked them being in power, they also had citizens who did not. So America at the time would fly different things such as food and clothing to Germany and Japan to help those poor citizens out. And of course, the leaders of those countries did not like that. So President Franklin D. Roosevelt asked Congress to enter into the war. And of course, they agreed. But I want you to take note that during World War II, America had two presidents. Franklin D. Roosevelt was the president at the beginning, and Harry Truman was the president at the end. Now, who was on what team? So on the Axis powers, you have the leader, Adolf Hitler, who was the leader of the Nazi Party for Germany, Benito Mussolini, who was the leader of Italy, Emperor Hirohito, who was the leader of Japan. Now, I want you all to make note that France was on our side, but you don't have to pay attention to their leader at this age, not at this level. So we have the Prime Minister, Winston Churchill for Great Britain. And remember, we have two presidents because Franklin D. Roosevelt died. So we have Harry Truman too, for the United States, and Joseph Stalin for the Soviet Union. The Axis powers versus the Allied powers. Now let's look into some major events in the atomic bomb. So during the battles, American troops would island hop in the Pacific. U.S. forces attacked islands after island held by the Japanese. The campaign brought American troops closer and closer to Japan. Because remember, Japan is on an island. So let's look at the Battle of Iwo Jima. Iwo Jima was a tough battle for American troops because Although Iwo Jima is an island as well, it's a smaller island, of course, than Japan. The Japanese had a upper hand because they knew the island. American troops, we didn't know the island, but that did not stop us. We still prevailed and we won that battle. D-Day. The turning point in the war came in 1944. On June 6, 60,000 Allied forces under the command of the U.S. General Dwight invaded Normandy. Now, let me go back. Normandy was invaded by Germany at first. So we wanted to take back France. However, they surprised the Germans, but the Allied troops still came under heavy fire and thousands were killed. So we needed something else. We needed another battle to get us to conquer the war. Victory in Europe. Germany surrendered. This was very important because, again, Germany had so much power. So the fact that they surrendered was also, you can look at it as a turning point in the war. But the war was still not over. So the atomic bombs. So remember, President Franklin D. Roosevelt died and was replaced by President Truman. Truman really wanted the war to end. So he had to make a decision. Send troops onto the island of Japan and lose thousands of soldiers, or drop a bomb and kill thousands of Japanese citizens to save American lives. Now, some people still don't agree with his decision to this day, but he did what he thought was best. He dropped not one bomb, but two bombs. And that second bomb led us to victory in Japan, BJ Day. This was a day that both sides signed formal papers to end the war. The day is officially known as VJ Day, and Americans and all troops everywhere celebrate it. And this is how the war ended. Thank you.